Hey there, welcome to my porch. Today we are going to talk about being goals versus doing goals and how to actually leverage your being goals so that you can do more in a more easeful and natural and productive way. This topic today actually came out of a conversation I had with a client this week. Like a lot of my clients, she is a super doer. She is used to actually cranking through and getting things done and really disciplining herself to make herself do what needs to be done. And we discovered in the course of our conversation that there was a certain level of beingness that she needed to step into in order to do the next level that she was aiming for. Maybe she could have kept muscling her way through and pushed and done it, but it was really clear that there was a mindset shift that had to happen over into being in the next level. It became sort of clear in our conversation that she was not going to reach the next level of doing unless she stepped into this beingness that was aligned with where she was headed. For her, it was about stepping into being at choice in some areas of her life that felt risky to be at choice. She's really great at making decisions about business and all the things that she needs to get done in that realm, but in the realm of her personal life, making choices felt a lot more risky for a lot of reasons I'm not going to go into here that we talk about. But that's the sort of thing that we do in coaching, is we uncover what's really holding you back, what's really making it hard for you to step into the next level that you really want to be in. And in the work that I do, all of this personal stuff is really integrated and marbled with professional stuff. We can't really separate it. In order to make that next step into the professional realm that she wants to be in, she needs to do a big personal step as well. In order to step into that next level of her professional life, she needs to actually step into the next level of her personal life as well. Your identity shifts in a way that makes the doing much more possible. So I thought now would be a good time to encourage you and invite you to look at your goals and see how we might be able to leverage your beingness and your being goals to help you get done your doing goals. From this perspective, we are actually thinking about how you need to be in order to do the things you want to do. To start this process, I just would love for you to pick a goal, any goal that you have for yourself over the next 6 months. I'd love for you to think about all the things that you need to do to reach that goal. The things that you're doing right now, maybe you're disciplining yourself, maybe you've got a routine, maybe you're sort of forcing yourself into this, and maybe there are things that come really easily to you that you do really naturally that will help you reach this goal. And then also maybe take note of the things that you want to be doing or you feel like you should be doing, the things that you know maybe would help you get to the goal but you're not doing. Now let's separate out what you have been doing and think about how you are being, how you are currently being in your life with regard to this goal. This could be anything from, you could be being resistant to it. You could be being resentful that you have to do certain things to reach it. You could be being excited about it. You could be enthusiastic about it. So let's think about all the ways that you are being with regard to this goal. Now I want you to look at, how do those things match up? How is the being that you're currently being, your current reality, supporting the things that you are doing? Is it making it harder? Is it making it easier? Now that you know how those two things are working together, I'd love for you to think about what you could change in your being that would really support the doing in a bigger way. How would it be helpful to be in regard to your goal? What kinds of mindsets would be helpful? Would maybe a mindset of hopefulness or excitement help you more? Would a mindset of gratitude that you get to do this goal help you? Maybe being resigned to the steps that you have to take in order to get there would help you. Maybe even a mindset of taking it for granted, that this is just something that you need to incorporate into your life and you don't give it much more thought. Maybe being sort of not engaged with it would actually help you. Once you have an idea of the kind of beingness that would help you reach this goal and do the thing that you want to do, I would love for you to take it one level deeper and actually think about what it would be helpful to believe. What sorts of beliefs about your goal and about your beingness would be helpful to you and make it easier for you to do the things you want to do? You know, we have a lot of unconscious beliefs, so this is a great place for you to start trying to uncover and unpack what might be operating below the surface. So if you have a belief that it will take forever to make progress, you need to check and see if that's actually helping you or hurting you. Maybe a belief that it doesn't matter how long it takes, it's worth it, would be more helpful. Or maybe a belief that you will see progress soon would be helpful. Or maybe a belief that just doing a little bit every day is really beneficial would help you. I have more to say on this, but first I would love to hear from you. What is a goal you have for yourself in the next 6 months? It really helps to write it down, so please share it in the comments and let us know what it is. And if you want to share a being idea for yourself, what being state would be helpful for you after thinking about it today, I would love to hear that too. It's really interesting to note that when you get your being goals figured out, that the doing that naturally flows from that feels so much more easeful and also creates sort of an inevitability about reaching your goal. When you are being a way that is helpful to your doing, it makes the doing that much easier. I have an example to share with you. I have a friend who works in real estate and she was wanting and needing to make more money. So she was thinking about getting a full-time job and making her real estate business her side gig. And she realized that when she shifted her thinking to being employed full-time in a full-time job and thought of herself as an employee, that beingness of being employed, she realized she could apply that to her real estate business and decided to experiment with showing up every day, 9 to 5, for her own business before she actually went out and got herself a full-time job to see what was possible from the doing that would come out of that being of being employed full-time and committing all of those hours to working on her own business. And it's really interesting how the doing that she had to do that came out of her being was a lot more easeful. She wasn't as resistant to it. It didn't feel like white knuckling her way through having to do her work. It became something that she just did because she was being a full-time employee. And you can see how this kind of creates an identity shift. And that's a lot of what happens when you make being goals, that your identity shifts in a way that makes the doing much more possible. And it makes the doing a lot more easeful, a lot more natural, a lot more effective. This is the kind of work I do with clients all the time, where we really dig in deep to what it is that is keeping them from doing the thing that they want to be doing or up-leveling the doing in their life. And it's also what people are doing in the Soft Ambition self-coaching workbooks that I have created. We dig into what's really going on and figure out the being goals that will help them do the things that they want to do and up-level their businesses and become who they need to be in order to do the things they want to do. Another client who was sort of bottlenecking her work because she was not delegating needed to make a very big shift, a foundational shift in the way she thought about her work. And in our conversations, we were able to get to a new understanding of how she functioned in her business. Instead of seeing herself as somebody who needed to do it all and not delegate, she started to see and come to terms with being the brain of her business. She is the one who was doing all the thinking. She didn't need her hands in everything. And so in this way, we created this huge shift that allowed her to step away and open up this little bottleneck that she had been making by not delegating the work to her employees. The foundational shifts, these identity shifts, are what make it possible to do bigger things, do more things, expand and express and become fully who you're meant to be and who you want to be without all the struggle that normally comes with just trying to muscle your way through doing goals. The beingness is really what sets you up to do that in a way that feels much more easeful. If you want to dig into this yourself, you might want to check out the Soft Ambition self-coaching workbooks that I created. I'll link them down below, but these are sort of a structured journaling self-coaching practice where you go through questions and respond to them and learn more about your being and doing goals. Thanks for being here today. I am Annie Kip. I'm a coach, a strategist, and a thought partner for high achievers and business owners who want to express their authority and convey their expertise and stand out in their field and build a business around themselves. I really appreciate you being here all the way to the end. Be sure to leave your comment below and subscribe so you don't miss any uploads, and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here. Bye.